call will be monitored and recorded, and your voice may be used for verification. One moment while we connect you to a specialist.
Good morning. Thank you for calling JP Morgan. My name is Michelle. Have your first and last name?
Zori Rush.
I'm sorry, how are you?
I'm well, Michelle. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How can I help you today?
I just had the oddest experience. I used the. Oh, I think I'm getting the call now. Can you hold for me 1 second?
Yeah.
All right. This is Zori.
Hi, good morning. Zori, my name's Peter Garvey. I'm calling from JP Morgan. I'm on a monitored and recorded line. How are you today?
I'm good. You're calling about the message that I sent on my secure account?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I had this odd experience and I have someone else on the phone. You're following the procedure
Oh,
that would have been reasonably expected. So if you could hold for me 1 second, let me get that other person off the line.
okay, fantastic.
All
Thank
right.
you.
I do apologize, but
Yeah, fine.
the other person that's on the phone is actually using what I was about to tell you about, so there won't be any need for us to continue our call.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you for calling JP Morgan. I'm glad you're able to get it taken care of.
Thank you.
Of course. Have a great day.
You as well.
Thanks.
I I do apologize for that. Things were, I guess, moving a little uh,
Oh,
faster
no
than
need
I
to.
expected. But do you know how that messaging thing works? Because I got a text message as soon as I clicked the OK button on the screen.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you got a text message letting you know that you'd be receiving a call from us, and basically it pops up onto my screen or one of the other professionals within my team, and we try to get a call back out to you as soon as we possibly can.
Okay.
So no need to apologize. I understand because a lot of times people don't think that it's going to happen right away. So it's no big deal.
I thought it
Um,
would, but when I got the text saying to call, that was what confused because that's exactly what I did, and that was the other person on the phone was I followed the instructions to call. So,
oh,
but
that's
thank you for
odd.
calling me. Let me just get straight to the point because I don't want to spend a lot of time on a futile issue. uh,
Yes, sir.
I
Okay.
I have a combination of severe disabling conditions that require medical attention right now and would require an accommodation from JP Morgan Chase to participate in this advertisement that keeps coming to me for the self-directed investment using the assets that I have acquired through my participation in the disability programs. So that's what I'm calling, wanted to schedule an appointment about is getting that accommodation so that I could benefit from using that promotional offer that's coming to me every day. But I'm having issue getting a response from your accessibility uh, team about
Uh
the
huh.
accommodation. Can you, because that's what I specifically what I need the accommodation for is to be able to use that specific benefit at Chase. But the individuals at that department, one of them named Kenneth, has denied the accommodation. And well, I've written a report reporting what he did, and I've requested that the written request for the accommodation be reviewed by someone else, but I haven't heard anything back. So, does your department itself provide accommodations for assistance that's needed there?
So you gotta bear with me, Mr. Rush. So
Let
I'm
me
a
tell
little
you.
confused as to
Let me
exactly
tell
what
you
you're
what it
referring to. So
is. What you would need to do to help me would be able to get accessibility to a I would say a definite, well, what I would need is a definite calculation of what my assets are and what my projections or what I would like for my investment portfolio to look like once I use those assets for this benefit. The accommodation I need would be for you to be able to get access to those figures. You need those figures. I need you to get those figures, but I need an accommodation from the bank in order for you to get those figures.
So, so we're trying to. You want to open a self-directed account, right? So that you can
Yesterday.
you can I'm just trying to follow here. You're trying to get a self-directed account, bring in cash from another bank, so you can get that cash bonus from the promotion, right?
Well,
But
if you
you're
could
unable.
say if you could say that, but it's not necessarily another bank. It's a
Oh,
division of the United States government trust.
oh,
It's the disability trust fund that's managed by the Secretary of Treasury.
gotcha. So you're trying to figure out how to get money from that disability trust fund.
No, I know exactly
Oh,
how to. I know how to get it, and I've already that process is is already begun to recover
okay,
the funds, the what would be assets that would be currently, because I already have an open account at your bank, that would be
okay,
assets that would be deposited directly into your bank. So once those accounts are made available at your bank, I would need a to take advantage of this self-directed investment opportunity yesterday.
yes,
I
sir.
mean, the first time it was offered, but
Okay,
there's
right.
a error or delay in transferring the funds to your bank, and that's why I need an accommodation from your bank now, so that we can
I
go ahead
understand.
and
Oh,
do this
I got it.
process.
I got it. So you need to get the funds to Chase Bank, like your your checking account, and then you're going to want to transfer those funds to a newly open self-directed account. Is that right?
Not all of them, because the funds that
But
I
but
intend to
but
use
but enough in order to achieve part of that cash promotion.
the
I'm not
portfolio
necessarily saying you need.
the to establish the outlook on a portfolio that I want to use on a self-directed
Oh,
investment account. Yeah.
uh, okay, I understand. All right. So right now the problem lies between the Disability Trust Fund and Chase Bank.
No, no,
I'm
no, no,
at
no, 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 no. There's no problem there. There is no
okay. So then
problem there.
so
The,
then so
the,
then the
there,
once
the problem is with myself and Chase. As I told you before, I have the issue resolved with the
right.
Disability Trust Fund. That issue is
Okay.
in processing now as we speak. The the determining factor of when those funds will be transferred into your bank should not prevent me from discussing what my options are with this self-directed investment option, which is why
Well,
this was
no, it
scheduled.
certainly should not, and it doesn't.
All
So
right.
you can open a self.
Right
You
now,
can.
let me explain why it does. Is because the only way I can get those calculated figures for us to begin that process, you and I, to begin this meeting that we schedule, is for me to receive the accommodation that I requested from the uh, disability accommodations portion here, and then I could provide you with all the necessary information would already be available to you once we begin this process.
Well, you can open a self-directed account without having the funds yet available. You
That's
can
what I'm
open a
saying to
self-directed.
you. That's what I'm saying to you. That's why I would need the accommodation from the this Do you know this division of your bank that I'm talking about?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is this division? Are you talking about a division within Chase Bank or
yeah,
within J.P. Morgan? Because
it's
we are
it's
two separate things.
it's
J.P. Morgan is the investment side where we would be handling the self-directed account. I could assist you with getting money over from Chase Bank into your J.P. Morgan self-directed investment account, and then once that process begins, then
so
the calendar
the
would
the
begin
request
for the
the request for uh for a disability accommodation was a written request sent to Chase Accessibility. So,
Chase. Okay,
right.
okay.
Do
So
you
this
have
is
a
going.
division at the investment portion? Do you have a division there that could review the request that was from Chase
There,
to see if
no,
they can work together and see how the disability accommodation could be provided?
no, sir, no, sir. Once the
Hold
money
on,
is
wait a
in
minute, wait a
Chase,
minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Are you telling, for clarity on what you just said, even if I were to once I transfer my funds to JP Morgan Chase, I mean to JP
mm-hmm,
Morgan's investment firm, those
right?
funds would not have access to a disability accessibility division anymore. There's no accessibility division for JP Morgan Chase.
I'm gonna have to look into that, sir. So let me put you on a brief hold.
That's a
I'm gonna do
number
a little
one.
research.
If that's the number one point of sale
Yeah.
on this call.
All right. So all right, Mr. Rush, I'm gonna put you on hold. I'm gonna do a little research on this, and I'm gonna have to
Please
come back
do.
to you. Okay?
That would
All
be
right. Thanks.
all right.
Thank you, sir. One moment. Mr. Rush, are you still with me?
I am.
Hello?
I am. I'm trying to
Okay.
divert my attention from the idea of moving my funds from the Disability Trust Fund to an agency of the inside the United States that does not comply with the ADA. It sounds
So
like a big risk.
that's where I was just a little confused. But yes, we do have ADA services
Oh,
now.
whew.
We certainly do. Like now, what are you? What exactly do you need?
It's
What
in
are
the
y'all looking for? Like
it's a well, if you let's clarify what we just discussed. We just discussed the risk of moving my funds from a an agency of the entire government whose entire obligation is to protect the funds from whatever happens in the economy to your agency. That would mean what I am requesting is for the same property and investment rights to be transitioned from from Chase to your investment firm. Therefore, I'm not attempting to discuss what the request is because it's fully documented with Chase by an
okay,
employee who has refused to provide the accommodation and obstructed all communication with Chase Bank because it's been these messages say that I would receive a response within 2 days when I requested an escalation of the employee who refused to provide the accommodation. That was December the
I understand.
14th, and it's been
I
seven
understand.
days. So I'm saying
Okay. Well then,
it would only
yep.
make sense is what the accommodation from you guys is needed now is assistance to remove the communication barrier of what the disability accommodation is from Chase Bank. And then you could have
Okay.
all the information would be available in writing and we wouldn't have to talk about it.
Okay. Well, let me get you over to escalations then. And
What it what
because
are what
we are. Pardon me.
what is the escalations?
Escalations will be able to further assist you about whatever complaint you may have, and I just want to let you know we are fully ADA compliant, and we do have all the necessary services that one should that one may require. But I do have an escalations group that I can get you over to that you can further explain exactly why you wanted to escalate that previous person you spoke to, and then you can go from there. But I do want to assure you that we
You're
do have.
telling me you're sending me to a escalation team at JP's investment firm to
That's correct.
to
JP Morgan and
escalate
JP Morgan Securities.
to escalate
I
a complaint against a separate agency at another banking system?
JP Morgan Chase. JP Morgan Chase is the same company. JP Morgan is the investment side of the said company, and Chase is the banking side. So JP Morgan Chase is one entity with two separate arms.
Well, I'm fully aware of that. I'm trying to clarify who the escalation team is. That because I haven't made a complaint. I requested
Uh,
a disability accommodation from you, which was to and apparently you said that you have a disability services there, and you're
we
sending
do.
me through a complaint process rather than.
Okay, well, when you mentioned escalations earlier, I thought that's what you wanted to do. I can also get you over to JP Morgan Chase Accessibility Services. They are open right now. I can give you a phone number that in case you get disconnected, you can call them back directly. But I can get you transferred over there right now. Would you like me to do that?
If you could hold for me 1 second, have to write that down. Okay, what's the number?
The number is 855 644 4561.
4561. 855 644 4561.
That's right.
What was your name?
My name's Peter.
Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Peter, I hear. I see we don't have a banter over my depth of knowledge when it comes to building a portfolio for investments. So I
Well,
think
as far as building a portfolio, if you're talking about opening a self-directed account. The self-directed account would not involve any advice. Calling into JP Morgan Service Center, we wouldn't be telling you what you should or shouldn't be buying. A self-directed account, you would be handling all of your investment decisions on your own. Now, if you were looking for the assistance of an advisor, that would be a separate type of account, which would not be entitled to that cash promotion that you're seeing about a self-directed account. We have advisory services. We have what we call the JP Morgan Personal Advisory Team, where you would have access to an advisor either over the phone or by video conference. They would go through what we call a goals-based analysis with you. In other words, it's basically just develop an investment profile based on what your risk tolerance is. Maybe you're super conservative or you're more aggressive, what your time horizon might be, whatever specific goals you might have in mind for your finances. And then once we develop this investment profile, this team will take your assets that you have, that you decide to open the account with, and fully manage those funds for you. You would after your initial meeting, you would get a financial plan from us, which could give you an idea of what you are and are not on track in meeting your goals, and you be able to access your account whenever you need and see what the balances are and what the performance of said account is. And that would, like I said, that would start with a $25,000 minimum investment. Now, we also have dedicated financial advisors within the branch that you could sit down face-to-face, or if that's not feasible for you because of whatever disability you may have, you can conduct all these meetings by phone as well. That would start with a $50,000 investment. But a self-directed account would not involve any advice whatsoever.
I seem to be pretty knowledgeable about building a portfolio for making personal investments. So, and obviously you are well trained in selling the advantages and disadvantages of this self-directed investment account at Chase. Were you clear on the issue that I discussed when I called? Or do you understand what it is?
You need some disability accommodations within JP Morgan within JP Morgan Investments.
Right.
Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Do you understand why I need that accommodation?
Well, no, sir. When I asked you what accommodations you might need, you didn't want to explain that to me.
What accommodation that I need from your bank, from you? At this point, I don't know that I need one from you because the accommodation I requested from Chase so that you would
Okay.
be able to access, as I told you previously, so that you would be able to access all the information that would be
in which case,
necessary.
sir, then you
If
need to be.
if you would allow me,
Mm-hmm. Well, sir, if you're looking for an accommodation from Chase, then I need to get you over to Chase. I've explained
right
to
now
you
what
what.
we're discussing is what your understanding is, and you're directing the conversation through interruption. I was asking if you're going to transfer me to a different department that handles the accessibility. Would
I
you go ahead? You interrupt me again. Go ahead.
no, sir. I
Yeah,
didn't mean to interrupt, but to answer your question, yes, I'm
that I
going to
did not
transfer you to
ask.
Chase Accessibility Services.
I didn't ask your question yet. I was asking a question. The question is, in transferring me to the accessibility department, would you be able to explain to them what the issue is that I'm having? And I was asking you that to explain to me what the issue is, and I have not heard you restate the issue as I have stated to you. So let me ask you, if you transferred me to this department, could you explain to them the issue I'm having before you transfer me?
I believe I can, but to be completely frank, sir, I'm not exactly sure what the issue is.
Okay,
You're
well,
saying that,
let me help you with that. I requested a disability accommodation from Chase Accessibility online and was denied. I
okay,
need that accommodation to use your services. And I need to
okay,
talk to someone accessibility about that. That's all I stated.
sure,
I just explained to you how that happened, how you got lost. I don't know, but that's all it is that I requested an accommodation from Chase Accessibility online and was
okay,
denied. Now, if you need to see that accommodation, I can give you authorization to get that written accommodation from Chase
that,
Accessibility Services employee. His name is Kenneth. I can do that. We could go that way, but it doesn't make if that's what makes sense to me to do. So if we could do that, I'd appreciate it.
that I would not need to see anything like that. That would be everything. I will explain to them that you applied for a Chase accessibility accommodation online and you were denied.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. All right. Mr. Rush, I'm going to put you on hold. I gave you that number already in case you get disconnected, but let me just put you on hold. I'll get you right over there. One
Thank
moment.
you.
Fuck you too, man. Alright. Now go ahead and push your goddamn TV and dead. You don't have no goddamn TV. Shit. Put your shit in my goddamn mouth. Tell me you gonna help pay them goddamn bill. Where you gonna put in my goddamn? Go put it in the store. I know I treat something. Oh, stupid shit in my house, man. Wanna pay me nothing. You put no goddamn tax on it, goddamn. It's in my house, it goddamn belong to me. You can't get nothing back. You know what I do. She'll come in my house and get something. That's what it is. Try to be nice, motherfucker. You can't be nice. You motherfucker. Be nice. So he said, fuck you anytime they think they gonna fuck you. And you don't take the TV to my house. No, that's not. It does not belong to you anymore. That's my TV. Cause you don't want to get up, you tired. You ain't working, motherfucker. I've been working for goddamn 40 goddamn years. Hell, I'm broke down. Hell, I can't work. Goddamn. You know what? Brother, maybe you need goddamn thing though. My sister got that goddamn card down there, and that told me it got $300 on this day. I ain't got no food. I'm finna go buy me some goddamn groceries. Stuff I ain't got nothing to eat over there. Anita gave me some ham and some light bread the other day. I'm finna go buy me some goddamn groceries today. I got $300. Anita got that told me. I bet you I'm finna buy me some goddamn shit today. I don't need potatoes, cheese, I ain't got no mayonnaise, mustard. I ain't got no salt. I got some goddamn pepper though. I'm gonna go buy me some. Going to the grocery store, go out there and credit that card. I'm going to the goddamn grocery store this morning. Tell my mom I'm finna.
Mr. Rush, are you still on the line?
Yes, I am. I do apologize if you have to hear what's going on behind me.
No worries. Thank you so much for your patience. We really appreciate it. I have my colleague Therese on the line. She is with Chase Accessibility Services. Yep, and she's going to be able to further assist you. I already explained that you submitted an accessibility accommodation online and was denied. I mentioned you spoke to a gentleman by the name of Kenneth. So she's all up to date.
Great.
For your privacy, I am going to drop off the line now. Thank you for calling JP Morgan.
Peter, I think you did a great job. I just before you go, I think you did a great job. I would slow down a little bit because you didn't say anything bad in your pitch. They've got a good pitch. The product sells itself. If you put a little confidence in selling it, it'll sell itself.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And again, I really do thank you for your patience. You've been very kind. But thank you again, and have a great day, and happy holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And it's Therese, is it?
Hi. Therese, like Teresa,
Oh.
but you stop at you stop before you say There's no
You just.
Whatever you want,
I love it.
By your first.
I know that name, but I've never heard anybody explain that that's how you say that name. But you know, this while we have something funny to laugh about, I'm being held hostage by the worst hostage takers on earth. So you're gonna hear some weird noises while we talk. But there was a classmate of mine who spelled her name H. Her name was spelled Heather. Heather. She hated to spell it because she said it sounded like she was saying Heheher.
I get that with my name too.
It's Heheher.
A lot of E's in there.
Yeah. Okay, well, he's pretty much gotten straight to the point, and I don't really want to spend a lot of time on the issue because he's already explained the umbrella effect, that there is an escalation procedure that brings together the investment side of the bank and the deposit side of the bank. And that's all I'm attempting to do here because I've already contacted my last contact with them was on the 14th, where I explained that Kenneth's denial of my requested accommodation was not based on a case-by-case analysis of what I was requesting, nor did it make any sense because my request was for something that Chase already provides to its customers. So it was kind of odd that it was denied, but since then, they've ceased communications. They have this response that comes back online that says, we'll respond in 2 days. Well, it was December the 14th, and today's December 21st, and I still haven't heard anything. But I need the reason I need the accommodation, let me clarify. The reason I need the accommodation from them is because all of my assets and property information is invested in, financial property and investment information is now invested in deposits being made from the disability trust funds into the Chase bank account, into my Chase personal Chase bank account. There is a information in the accessibility request that's online that shows how to get access for the bank at the investment side to get access to what those calculations should be and what they could be for if I were to use that benefit opportunity yesterday. So that's what the issue I'm having is if I could get someone in your division to get those communications that I was having with that division, and then we figure out how we can address the issue with Kenneth's denial to see if Kenneth actually had the right to deny the request that I made because it right now there's just no one responding.
Okay. So let me follow up on this for a moment. I just need to check into something. Is it all right if I call you by your first name?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Zori. And I'm so sorry, but I do need to get you verified. Can I verify the last four digits of your Social Security number?
What exactly are we what is the purpose of a verification at this point? Because you haven't given me any information about what it is that you could do for me.
Anytime that we speak with someone, we just need to verify either their social, the last of their social, or their mailing address. It's just procedure.
Okay, and if I refuse to provide you with any information at this point, do you deny me the communication with accessibility services?
No, I will see if they can still speak with you without getting verified.
Who is they?
So if you'll hold,
Who is they?
any of the ADA team, the Accessibility Services team.
Okay. I'm not sure where we are right now because all I did was tell you what the issue was and you asked me for verification information. I'm not clear on what it is exactly you can do for me. What is it that you're offering to do for me?
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look into the escalation and see whom I need to put you in touch with regarding follow-up on that.
So there's nothing you can do?
I'm kind of the middle person. I help out with answering calls.
Oh, well, let me
clarify
here. Let me clarify here. An individual at Chase Bank, it is my personal belief that an individual named Kenneth at Chase Bank denied a reasonable accommodation request to a disabled person that is within the ability of Chase banking services. Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to be in the ADA department, so I'm pretty sure you know what that means. I'm telling you directly is that right now in the secure messages is a disability accommodation that Chase is fully capable of providing, and an employee named Kenneth refusing to provide it and blocking all communications. I know how to resolve that. What I'm doing is I'm giving Chase, JP Morgan Chase, the opportunity to resolve that without the enforcement of compliance. I know JP has the capacity to comply. So if that's all you can do at your division, I just want to make you aware that there is an issue there. There is not with your side because we haven't done any business yet. So there is no obligation on your side there. But if that's the most that you can do here, it is insufficient for enforcement of a requirement that should have been made within 2 days. What you're asking me to do is just give you information and wait for a callback. But what's required from this system that says you'll get a response in 1 to 2 days is that someone would have contacted me on the 16th. Today's the 21st. That's not only a violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act, that's also a violation of my right to the administrative procedure that's advertised on the Chase website. Those are crimes, ma'am. And someone in Chase
Yeah.
should be reporting those crimes when the customer tells
Okay.
you that about them.
Yes. Yeah. So, just so you know what my position is. So, typically, someone calls in and they ask for an accommodation, and I put
I do
together, I write up a
apologize,
case,
ma'am. I do.
and I know
I
you've
would
been through that.
appreciate it if you would not generalize my very specific issue. This is a case by case analysis issue, and I believe that's what caused Kenneth to commit the crime is because he tried to generalize a case by case analysis requirement. The ADA requires a case by case analysis, and you generalizing now would not assist me at all.
Well, no, and sorry, I just wanted to let you know where I come into play here. So I'm kind of the middleman. So what I want to do for you is find out where this escalation case is, and get you in touch with someone who is working on the
Okay, well,
escalation
ma'am,
case.
this is the
So,
problem, though. That has to happen on this someone has to in order for it to be ADA compliant, someone at this
mhm.
secure messaging site has to respond to my most recent message. Otherwise, I've lost the accommodation of secure messaging.
I see. I see. So you do not want to speak with anyone now. You're just wanting us to follow up on getting that written
I mean, just comply
response.
with what the December 14th message was. We'll get back to you in 2 days. It, at least now, when you do get back, whenever they do get back to me, it's definitely going to need to say, hey, we were late. Getting back to you, we know we talked to you on the 14th, but we didn't respond in 2 days. I'd appreciate it, but that's not necessary. I just still need the accommodation, so I need someone to review Kenneth's denial and see if he has the right to deny a ADA compliant accommodation. And right now I don't have that as an option. So again, ma'am, you're at a different division of JP Morgan Chase. So if I gave you the information, you still wouldn't be able to locate this particular track of communications and have someone in that department use this specific service to communicate with me?
No, no, I can certainly go forward with this. I just was doing what I am instructed to do on every call. And if you don't want to give me that information, that's fine. I'm trying to research into the notes here.
Ma'am, my
I do
name is
see
Zori
that.
Rush, and I can give you my account number on my bank. But believe me, you're not going to find any more people at the last 4 digits of my account number. You're not going to find any more people at your bank named Zori Rush with the last 4 digits of a checking account number 1064. That's just not going to happen, especially not when you once you narrow the pool of people down to individuals who are using secure messaging to request disability accommodations. I should be easy to find.
Okay, okay. Well, actually, I do have your information up from Peter. He had passed along your account information, and it's just typical for us to ask for that. But I
Okay,
understand you
great.
don't want to provide that, and that's okay. But I do
It's all
see
about the
a note.
transition, ma'am. I'm glad you told me that because therein lies my issue is that I'm on the phone with a new representative who should be aware that I have initiated this conversation from my secure online messaging account. And I am expecting from Chase to have that accommodation provided to me in continuity without this obstruction of a phone call. I understand that it's necessary now because Kenneth has ceased the communications from using the service regarding the disability accommodation. But right now, I had no idea that you even knew anything other than my name. But if you have the account information, please do use by whatever means that are necessary. Remove the barrier that's been created by Kenneth.
Okay. Well, I do see. I see notes that we've received the request, and you requested a response in writing, and that is in the process. So someone in the escalations team is in the
Ma'am,
process of
ma'am,
writing
you
that back.
realize you're right now engaged in denying the request when you are saying words on the phone that should be in a secure messaging service. That's the service I use, and you break that continuity when you don't use the service to tell me what's happening. Then and you're now doing it after we've just discussed it, and there's no way I can prove what you're saying, and that's why it needs to be. I can prove that to right now I have been denied the disability accommodation I requested, and I can prove that Chase can afford to give me what I requested, and it would not cost them a dime. I can prove that, and I can also prove that something is happening at the bank that you could have informed me about, but you didn't. And now you're using a coerced method to inform me that I cannot document.
Okay. I I myself do not have access to the secure messages. That's
Okay,
not
well, ma'am,
part
let me
of
ask
what
you
I
something.
do. So
Why are you reading to me something that I specifically requested be communicated in a secure message? Why are you reading it to me?
well, I'm not reading any decision. I just was letting you know
Oh, well,
that I
no, no,
see
no,
we
no.
did
That's what I
receive.
mean. That's what I'm. None of what you're saying has been told to me in writing. Why are you telling me those things? Are if you said that they are internal notes, that those are people that are talking to each other inside JP Morgan Chase. That means those people are not talking to me. You said that yourself.
Well,
And I told you I need those people that are making those internal notes to comply with the 2 day, 1 to 2 business days they said on the secure messaging, which one of them could have completely wrote what's in the note that you says is there. We're looking into it. We'll get you another response. Blah blah blah. What you said is there, but that's not what's happening. They have you now on the phone saying this without writing that in a note. Why? Why?
well, all I can say is that all I can say is that what I can tell you what I do, and I can tell you that anytime we touch an account, we have to write a note as to what we're doing. So, for example,
Okay, I understand, ma'am.
when
I
I'm
understand.
finished,
I worked in
mhm,
sales. I'm still working in sales
mhm.
right now. Right now, I'm trying to sell a product to the United States government, and I'm trying to expand my banking experience with Chase while I do that simultaneously. So I completely understand the issue. I just don't want what's a issue with Chase providing me with the disability accommodation I requested from Kenneth to obstruct my ability to use the rest of these services because if just wearing my shoes, you should be able, if you understand the issue I'm having, you should be able to understand my frustration. Kenneth, just a secure message is preventing me from doing exactly what I said. What I said is my life goal is to make investments that allows me to sell products to one of the biggest governments, well, the biggest government in the world. So right now, what I like to do is just document that rather than you read me any other things that I have specifically requested be placed in writing. And when you write your note, just however are reviewed, just secure the note to say that these communications must comply with the secure messaging uh, notice that says we're replying to 1 to 2 days, because you have these notes here, but you're not telling him, and it's been more than 1 to 2 days. That should be made clear that Chase is now in violation of that 1 to 2 days, because you're in there writing notes to each other that could be copied and pasted to me. I'm not a, I'm not opposed to waiting for someone to review the request, but I am opposed
Mhm.
to being coerced to discuss it over the phone when I have taken the time clearly to make it in writing. That's it's almost evil for your bank to do that, considering the position I'm in.
Okay. I, I so you're stating like if we just put a note on there, this case has been escalated, or if I
Ma'am,
put
I don't
in
work for
I
Chase.
spoke
I'm
with
just
Dory
saying,
today.
just based on. But you said you have to make a note. I'm not going to go any further into what note you think should be made. I think that you've just explained that there is nothing that accessibility services on your side would be able to do to assist me with getting a compliant response through secure messaging, and all I can do now is just let you make whatever note that you think is best, and you put it on there, and maybe I'll never see it, but I'll have to find another way to resolve the issue if your note doesn't resolve it. It's my liability. It's my personal responsibility. So if you don't place a note of our communication in that identifies Kenneth as creating a liability for your bank today, because that's what's happening, is that I just told you Kenneth created a liability for your entire bank today. And now I have to resolve it because you don't have a means in your own bank to do it. So I'll have to figure it out myself. Thank you, though.
All right. I am sorry that I wasn't able to satisfy your
The
request.
ADA, ma'am, ma'am,
I do know
ma'am,
that it's been
ma'am, ma'am,
escalated.
ma'am, ma'am. The ADA is the Americans with Disabilities Act. It's not me. I did not contact you from ignorance. I just begging for something. I contacted you about
Oh, I
a
can.
disability account. It's then I want to speak plain language because I'm talking to J.P. Morgan Chase investment firm. So I don't want to mince words here. I want to hear my bank say, if we have an employee that did what you just said we did, let me go and find him now. I have not heard that from you yet, and now I'm concerned.
Well, I was going to. I mean, that's what I was going to do. I was going to find out who is working on the escalation and get you over to them. I
All
mean,
right.
that's all that I can do.
Okay, ma'am.
Did you want me to take that step?
Ma'am, again, my concern is no longer your employment. My
Okay.
concern is the financial security of even the investment of my time with your bank, considering the type of customer service it provides to people living with disabilities. And mine are permanent, they don't go away. So I'm reconsidering the idea of using JP Morgan Chase as a disability accommodation for my financial services. That doesn't
Okay.
seem, it doesn't seem like you have the security or even concern for security for disabled persons at your bank that would meet my specific needs. This is taking too long. I mean, there is no alarm. There's alarm for your customer, but there is no alarm at your bank from a customer being discriminated against based on a need for a disability accommodation. There's no alarms going off at your bank. And that is telling. That's more telling than your employment. Let me just say it that way.
Okay. Well, I have tried. I mean, I
I
would
believe
have
you,
to get
ma'am.
you
Please
to.
don't do that to us right now. I We've finalized that the only thing that can happen now is for you to write your note and we finish this call. That's the only procedure that is available at JP Morgan Chase to protect me right now. That's all you got. So let's just get that done and get it over with.
All right. Well, I just do want to let you know you'll receive a response in writing, and I'll go ahead and end this
A
call.
response
You have a good
a
day.
response to what?
To your issue. We're
What?
responding to you in writing. So,
You're now doing what I asked you not to do when I said you're telling me that I'm gonna get a secure message. Is that what you're saying?
all I know is that it's going to be in writing. I would assume if the ADA laws say that we need to respond that way, then we would follow that. So the message in writing would come. I would imagine that it would come through the secure messages, but
Let me clarify. Are you doing what I asked you specifically not to do? Are you telling me internal note information that I should be expecting on secure messages?
I don't know how it is going to come. I can check into that for
Ma'am,
you. I
I
understand your.
asked you not to tell me that. I asked you not to tell me anything that should be there. I did not call that your department about that. I call your department because I cannot access the benefit of the self-directed investment account that's being advertised to me. I requested an accommodation of retrieving the accommodation I've gotten from the other, I requested from the other department to see if there was anything else you could do. You chose to take the route of providing me information that was written on internal notes after me repeatedly asking you not to do that because the continuity of the accommodation requires the bank to use secure messaging. I don't know why you are attempting to create deniability instead of saying, Mr. Rush, if we discriminated against you, we are going to find out what happened and we are going to address it in the manner that is best suitable for your needs, which is the manner you chose to speak to us, not you choosing something different. But what I'm going to do, because you are the 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 end of my financial security, because I know how the banking system works with the entire Federal Reserve, and I know how market manipulation works with JP Morgan Chase being underfoot for discrimination charges in New York. I'm going to hang up the phone and you just write your note.